Hey, welcome back. In part one, we covered the foundation, how to structure your knowledge files, what to upload, and how to pick one clear job that you want your dental CMO Copilot to do. Today, we're actually going to build the thing. So welcome to the Next Leap Academy, sponsored by New Paradigm and DSO Marketing X. I'm your host, Mark Hefner, and I'm excited that you're here. So I'm going to walk you through the GPT editor step by step, show you exactly how to put your instructions in, how to upload your files, and how to test your GPT to make sure it refuses PHI information and it's following your rules, especially your brand voice and other information. By the end of this video, you'll have a working dental CMO Copilot you can hand to your team. So let's go. Here's what we're building: a campaign and content assistant for a multi-location dental organization. So the primary job is to help my marketing team write patient-facing communications, internal briefs, and campaign ideas based on my brand voice and my rules. We've already talked about no PHI information in there. So let me show you how this all comes together. Okay, guys, I've already done some pre-work here. So this is my dental CMO Copilot. I've already built it, but I'm going to show you how to walk through it and how to do it yourself. Let's look at it and go into edit. And right here, you can tell, I call this dental CMO Copilot. You can call yours whatever you want. Some groups use their brand name. Others just call it a marketing assistant, but be creative. What the heck? Anyhow, the next part is the description. This is what your team sees before they click in. So be explicit. So for me, this Copilot is really looking at, it thinks in 7-day pilots. So I put in the description, the dental CMO Copilot is an AI partner trained on real dental marketing strategy. It thinks in 7-day pilots, thinks about capacity first plans, and in simple frames your team can execute across every location. Short, clear, explicit, to the point. Come up with a description that makes sense for you guys and tells everybody what this Copilot does. And remember, your Copilot is going to do one thing. And we've already talked about what is that one thing that it's going to do? Campaign and content assistant. Here's the fun part. Now we can write the instructions. This is a compact job description, the GPT's operating system. This is where you tell it who it is, who it serves, the style and tone, and the hard red lines. Well, I've already pasted mine in. I'll just walk you through each part that matters. So let's take a look here. So here's my Copilot. You're a dental CMO Copilot. I talked about all the things. I talk about the experience that it needs to have. I talk about what it does with DSOs and multi-practice groups. Talk about who it serves. And then I have a quick brand intake form here. I talk about safety, no PHI data. And then I have my CMO guardrails. You know, this one is, we're talking about capacity first. So you should be thinking about, as you get more information to do this, is what is the capacity of your offices? And how can it serve? What are good CMOs? We lead with questions. This thing will ask questions from you and it'll communicate. And then it has playbooks, knowledge files that may contain frameworks, templates, and prompts. Has a prompt behavior playbook in it and how it will respond to different users in it. Core content and strategy areas that we want it to work with, strategic planning, capacity first journey, recare and retention, channel playbooks. So as you can tell, I've really built this out to cover a lot of things. So this is a more sophisticated GPT than what we're working with. But this is where you can get to. You really want to train and make sure you know what you're doing first before you jump deep in. This is 8,000 characters. Again, not a lot of room to put in everything you need. So I kind of give it everything it wants and it needs so it can help do the job that I want it to. Let's go through the instruction block. Pretty explicit about it. I kind of tell it it's a dental CMO Copilot. I talk about that it's an AI version of a world-class chief marketing officer in the dental industry. I kind of talk about his experience and his background. I also talk about who it's working for and what it's doing, what its role is. So again, it's a job description. What is its role? What does it do? You help marketing teams write patient-facing communications, internal briefs, campaign ideas, and you're not a clinician. You never give clinical advice, and you never invent clinical claims. I give it a tone, and this would be your brand tone. For me, I use a confident, warm, plain language tone. Write like you're talking to a busy professional who values clarity and speed. Avoid useless jargon, and it's standard dental marketing. So the other thing we can do is we talk about the knowledge priority. Always rely on the knowledge files. We'll show you how to upload in a few minutes. And anything about our brand, offers, or locations. If you notice, these instruction blocks do not have that information in it for a very specific reason. Those will be uploaded in files a little bit later. But I do talk about PHI and compliance, and that's what you guys want to make sure this is where you put that information in also. And you also say, if anybody pushes that information in, you'll get an output that says, I can't process real patient data identifiers in this environment. Please remove any patient PHI and try again with de-identified examples or synthetic data. Output format, I kind of say be concise but complete. Use headers, bullets when helpful. Always include review notes section in the end with any compliance flags, missing info, or suggested next steps. Let's break it down, guys. This thing is you are the dental CMO co-pilot. You help marketing teams. Scope, what's the job? Use a confident, warm, plain language, tone, voice, how it should sound. Always rely on the knowledge base files first. Priority, where does the truth live? Don't accept PHI information, the red line. Notice, I gave it a script to use when someone does paste in the PHI information. I don't want it just to say no. I want to educate my team and give them a path forward. This is how you program behavior. You guys, this is simple. This is just written language, so you can just think about it. And I'll be honest with you. The other thing you can do is you can ask ChatGPT to help you write the instructions. So you don't have to do this all on your own. If you come up with a bunch of instructions and you're kind of all over the place, help Chat organize your thoughts for you. Tell it what you're trying to do, and it will organize it in such a way that it'll make sense for itself to read. You don't have to do all the heavy lifting. Let ChatGPT do that for you. Make it plain, simple, and easy for you guys. Don't struggle over this stuff. All right? So the next thing we want to do is we want to attach the knowledge base. So this is going to be different for everybody. So let me show you kind of what that looks like. Okay, what you'll see here are the files that I've uploaded into my GPT and the models it should use. I put a hard code into the type of thinking I want it to use because I want it to think. There are lots of different models that ChatGPT has put out. I have found that the thinking model is the best model to use. I don't want it to use the fastest or the instant because it may not really think. And the other thing you can do is with the thinking model, it'll actually show you all the steps that it's going through. It's a better sounding tool for you to use. And when you do that, you want to upload examples like your brand voice guide as a PDF. I'll have good examples, bad examples, tone rules. Hopefully you have a brand voice guide or a branding guide that your organization's using. Your current offers. What are the current offers that your organization's putting together? You know, teeth whitening, implant specials, all the other things that your organizations and service lines that you will run promotions on. You want to load those up too. In a third separate file, now you want to put a location directory. Put it as a PDF. Make sure the columns are labeled clearly with the office's name, address, city, state, zip, phone numbers, email addresses, websites, and any other piece of information you may need to put on a piece of marketing material. All right, because this will be the place where this data lives. We want to load up our marketing compliance rules, things that we never say, things that have legally approved language. Good example is doing an offer for financing. Well, around financing, there's a lot of legalese between states. So you want to make sure you have the appropriate language around that. Each of these files follows a structure we covered in part 1. They should all have clear titles, section headings, main topics per file, meta notes for the AI where helpful. Remember, you have 20 slots for files if you have the Pro version. The Enterprise version, you have 40. Use them wisely. Combine related content instead of uploading 20 tiny documents. And when I say that, remember, each file can be 512 megabytes. That's a large file for written content. Make sure it's structured well. Make sure it's all labeled appropriately. If you need to update an offer or add a new location, just swap out that one file and you don't have to rebuild the whole GPT. That's the glory of it. You can update as you grow. You can update as things change. You can update as your strategy changes for your organization. The other part is quick conversation starters. So one thing we didn't talk about, and let me show you. So right here are my quick conversation starters. I have 20 of them. So what that is already a prompt that's ready to go. Act as a fractional CMO. I will describe my dental group, ask me a few sharp questions, then tell me what you want me to start over. So as you can tell, I've already uploaded and it is already spitting out some information for me. Makes it pretty easy, huh? Pretty simple to do. But here's what you need to think about. What are those conversation starters for your team? What would a new intern need who is starting from your organization, hasn't really had a lot of training for you guys? What would that look like? You know, for you, these conversation starters might be like, write an email to inactive whitening patients near our location using our usual tone. Generate 3 Instagram captions for a new patient special following the compliance rules. Review this agency's copy and flag anything that is not in our voice and it's out of our compliance guidelines. Create a campaign brief for a back to school promo across all locations. These conversation starters aren't required, but they could help your team to write good prompts. So give it a try. Think about it. Oh, and by the way, ask Chat to help you write some too. Maybe it'll come up with some good ones you haven't thought about to stick in for your team and help them through. We're at step 5. We are ready to save and test. So for my GPT, I'm just going to update. Remember we talked about if you want to change some files out, you just update that. So this is what that looks like when you update it. So I'll hit the update file. You can tell it's doing its thing. And as soon as it's done, we can move on to the next part. And now we're ready to test it. Now I'm going to open the GPT and run 3 tests. You want to run a real marketing test. Does it use our brand voice and our locations correctly? Are the PHI guardrails in place? And a no knowledge test. Does it admit when it doesn't know something? So let's run them. My first prompt is going to be to inactive whitening patients near our Irvine location using our tone and don't use any PHI and follow our compliance rules. So there's the prompt. And as you can tell, I'm in the thinking mode. So you see that little white dot, it's thinking, it's not producing it. Gave me a subject, thinking about brighter smile in Irvine. So then it spits out the email. Real simple, real easy. Is everything there? If it's been a while since you treated yourself to a wider smile, this is your friendly nudge from our Irvine team. Life happens, coffee, tea, red wine, and just time all leave their mark. So as you can tell, it's a pretty decent email. Now you can copy and paste it, edit it a little bit, and you're ready to go. Still a lot quicker than having to have your team sit there and write something for you. Lose it pretty quickly. So it talks about everything we want to talk about. It has my brand voice in it. It has the current whitening offer. It also includes our Irvine location, and it includes a review note section reminding to check for compliance. It didn't invent anything, so it has good structure and tone. Now let's test the PHI guardrails. I'm going to intentionally try this right here. Summarize this patient's chart, and let's see what it says. Oh, look at that. I need to stop you here because you just shared PHI information. Look at that. The guardrails are in place. I'm impressed, so it also talks about how it can handle it safely and what you need to do to make it work better. So when I talked about it, I wanted to educate my team. So when they make a mistake, they were educated on how they can do it right the next time. Here's the education part. I love the response. I need to stop you here because what you just shared includes protective healthcare information, PHI, patient's full name, date of birth, visit details. This space isn't HIPAA compliant, so I can't process or work directly with real patient identifiers. Bingo. Met that requirement. Test number 3, the knowledge test. So this plug in one other thing here. Let's see what it does. What is your employee referral bonuses for bringing in new dental hygienists? Short answer, I don't know the exact number. I don't have access to your HR handbook, so I can't see your current employee policy. Here's what I can do for you quickly. We're going to check internally. It points you in the right direction. It's doing all the things we want it to do. This is great behavior. This is how we programmed it. It is not guessing. It is not making up numbers, and it's admitting its gap in knowledge and pointing me out where I need to go. This is why we wrote, if something's not in the knowledge base, say so instead of guessing. So I was very impressed with that testing, guys. It worked to a T. Quick troubleshooting. If your GPT gives you a response that feels off, here's a quick checklist. Go back and check your instructions. If the tone guidance is clear, did you define the red lines? Check your knowledge files. Are they well structured with headers? Is there conflicting information across files? It's really important. Test with specific examples. Don't just ask vague questions, guys. Ask a direct and pointed question and let it see a real scenario so it gives you a real answer. Don't be vague. No one responds well with vagueness. Again, then update any files you need to do and retest. It's important. The beauty of this system is that you don't have to rebuild from scratch. You just need to swap out files or tweak a line or two and put it in the instructions. That's simple, guys. And guess what? You're not writing code. You're just writing in natural language. That's what I love about it. You don't have to be code specific. So it's great. You guys can make this work. Let me pull the curtain back a little on how knowledge works, because this is where a lot of people overtrust and undertrust the tool. High level. When you ask a question, your GPT does three things. One, it breaks your uploaded file and documents into chunks and builds a kind of map and what each chunk means. Two, when you ask for help, it runs a smart search across your files and your data, searching for the chunks of information that seem most relevant to your question. Three, it mixes those chunks with what the base model already knows about the world and then writes your answer. So if you ask it to do a whitening promo, it should read the exact file across your offer doc and then your brand voice file, and then blend it together with its knowledge base and give you the whitening language you need. If that internal doc is missing, wrong, or messy, guess what? It will probably hallucinate. So the content you upload, not the model, has to be your source of truth. So it kind of comes back to this. We've all been working for computers for a while and databases for a while. We understand junk in, junk out. So if you put junk in, you're going to get junk out, and you don't want that. That's why we add always rely on knowledge files first. That one sentence will save you a lot of headaches. All right, we just built a working GPT, the working dental CMO Copilot. You now know how to write tight and clear instructions, how to upload and organize your knowledge files, how to test for brand voice, PHI refusal, and knowledge gaps. If you want to test your GPT that you developed against mine, download my dental CMO Copilot I built. You can download it here. It will ask you some questions about your brand before you start any project and a little bit about your group. Give it a try. See how mine works against yours. And in part 3 of this 3-part series, we're going to cover how to roll this out to your team without chaos. Power uses beyond writing emails and marketing materials, and how the brain can be plugged into automated workflows using tools like N8N. If you want the exact instruction block for your content assistant, the starter file checklist, and the PHI guardrails, you can hand straight to your compliance team. I'll put it in the next Leap Gen AI Toolkit. The link is in the description. Hit like and subscribe for part 3 and drop me a note. What did you test with your first GPT? I'm Mark. Thanks for building your GPT with me. I hope you found this useful. I look forward to seeing you in part 3, guys. Thanks, and go out and make it a great day.